Welcome back to RGR Football. I'm Ryan. This is me going rogue on the Kansas City Chiefs and the NFL in this particular season. That's a lot to say in one voice. Welcome to the channel. If you're new around here, like, sub, hit that bell notification so you know what's going on. Got to go over some of the keys to doing what the Chiefs need to do first and foremost this year. Patrick Mahomes became an owner of the Royals, and I think that might just be a little bit more reason to have to keep an eye on what's going on around him so that he can take everything up to the max and make a run at trying to get back to the Super Bowl. And that comes into today's topic. And it is very difficult, quite frankly, to be able to get everything done all at once. And protecting this guy has got to be what it's all about. And as we go through, I want you to take a good look at this, because this is one of the games that I thought he did some of his best work in being on unsure footing, having some guys that he had to adapt with and get through that with. It really showed what he's capable of. And that's why for him, it's all about him getting that done and allowing him to be who he is. So it comes down to this group of guys, especially here on the right, but even Travis Kelce and Eric Fisher, who's dead center there. He is a guy that's going to be heavily relied upon outside. And the question mark has been all offseason about who's going to play next to Eric Fisher. And we've seen the departure of Laurent Duvernay-Tardif. He is opting out. He will be in Canada working on his second career, his medical career. And while Schwartz will be here, they have to make some adaptations. There was a signing. We're going to go through that and what it means and how they can keep Patrick upright in order to try to keep winning games. And that all comes down to the Chiefs' offensive line. And that offensive line is a group that has done a lot of work, definitely under-heralded, I think, but they are undergoing some change, and that's really what it comes down to. And this guy has to be the top priority of this entire offense, not just of this particular protection group. Yes, it is their job, but they need to be focused on doing what they can do. And it starts over here, like we said, with Eric Fisher, who I think is a little bit under-heralded himself. He's a very athletic guy, and he is a very good tackle. I know, put up against some of the elite guys at his position, he doesn't quite measure up to that yardstick, but he is very good at what he does. He is good on the move, and that, honestly, for a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, is part of the key to being able to continue to create out of nothing like Patrick has done time and time again. The idea behind this season was to not have to have him do that any longer. That is going to be changing. The makeup of this offensive line is going to change. And I think it's going to start on the guy who plays right next to Eric Fisher. And so when we look at him, he wasn't on the roster a while ago, and he's not a guy that can keep up with Mitch Schwartz. Schwartz is going to be on the other side, and he's going to anchor. The two of them together as a tackle duo are one of the best in the league, and I think the best in the AFC West by a long shot. They are in position to lead this team and keep it moving to the point that they are going to be the elite of the elite if they can get some help. I do feel like this season, amongst all others, and even particularly having these tackles, allows the Chiefs to take a big step forward and get things done even better than they did in their Super Bowl run. There is room for improvement, and that comes from having these two guys on the outside that can take on the premier pass rushers and really protect not just the backside like Eric Fisher does, but the front side when you have to face guys like Von Miller. And that's what Mitch Schwartz does so well. It's everything else that becomes the question mark. And as we start to see the guy in the middle that is right there right now, great hair, Austin Ryder, he is the incumbent. I'm not sure that he ends up starting, but that's going to be a different question for a different day, because the only competition that I truly see for the center position is going to be a rookie. And I don't think you can lean on rookies right away in this league, particularly at a position that is right in front of the quarterback. So I think in all intents and purposes, while Darrell Williams is a nice player, and I do think he is going to make this roster either as one of the interior swing guys, or he might have to go to the practice squad. We're going to have to see how the numbers work out at other positions before we can determine that. But I don't think he's a guy that you're going to jump in there and leave as somebody to hold tight to right off the bat. So Austin Ryder is going to be there. And now the fallout from LDT they went and signed Kelechi Osemele. And the thought initially was LDT opted out. He's not going to be here for the season. We're going to plug him in right and just take that spot in what was a lineup that we thought we had fairly nailed down and that we thought competition was at the left side. But the truth is, Osemele plays on the left, always has. Except for his rookie year, he has played left guard. And I feel like as much as a veteran like that can probably make a switch, I don't think it's natural, and I don't think it helps you hit the ground running in jumping into a new team. So I think the best place for him is over on the left side where he's comfortable and he's natural. And the question is, he's got to be healthy. We don't know that that's the case. The fact that he was still out on the open market until the Chiefs picked him up sends a signal to me that maybe teams didn't feel he was able to pass a physical. That's going to be key. If he can, you're talking about a potential Pro Bowler again, if he's healthy and rebuilt even to 90% of the performance that he was able to put out. Not necessarily with the Jets, but definitely with the Raiders before that. I think this is the natural spot to put him, and I really like the combination of having both Osemele and Fisher over on that left side. I think that changes the nature of trying to move the ball on the left side. Now, there's always some congruity that has to go on between the center and the guard, and that may be something that takes a little time to grow, but I don't think it matters whether it's right or left for the guard. And so when they move forward, I think the natural progression is to put Wiley over at right. Wiley filled in admirably for LDT the last time LDT missed time over on the right side. I thought he actually looked better over there. And while he was slated to be competing for the starting job over on the left, I think this is a natural fit over there. Familiarity with Mitch Schwartz. He played over there with him at the time when LDT was out. This just makes too much sense to me. And I think that this is probably on par with your best five. As Andy likes to say, play your best five linemen and things are going to work out in your favor. I think that's what this looks like right now to me. Now, obviously, we have to see where Wiley's at. He lost some playing time in 2019. We have to see where Osemele is because we don't know health-wise if he's 100% ready to go. And so there are a couple of other options. And that comes into the two new guys. And I like what they did in drafting Lucas Niang. The injury to the labrum in the hip was a little bit troublesome, but he says he's 100% recovered. Now, he's played right tackle. So the idea is that he should remain at tackle, I think. Again, a natural fit. He's played on the right. He could probably move over to the left in a pinch, but having that time to practice that move would be better, in my opinion, so that he can gradually move into a position switch across the line. Whereas Remmers is a guy that has experience all up and down the line and quite honestly can be a jack of all trades for this team. I think he gives you options here, but limited ceiling. And that's something that you have to deal with as well. And coming down to it all, you have to be able to plug and play. I think this season, maybe more so than most, you're going to have guys that are reserves that you can plug in at multiple positions. And so I would almost break it down this way, where these two guys, where they're situated at on the screen, are the two guys that they would back up. I think both of them can probably do both. And then it comes down to a Darrell Williams or an Allegretti to jump into the center spot if Ryder should have to miss something. But the end of the day, it's all about, again, protecting this guy. And I just don't see them taking any chances at all. But this group is going to be the core that's going to make this roster and be there to protect Patrick Mahomes as they make their run. Now, there are other things that are going to be factors, that's certain. I don't know what they are yet, but we are going to find them all out. There's no way around that. And I think that it's actually an interesting dilemma that the Chiefs can take advantage of because of the roster depth that they have. And having Patrick around, I just like being able to say they have to protect him at all costs. At the end of the day, that is the bottom line and what they're going to have to deal with in order to make a run it back run and get to that Super Bowl. So that's where they are today. I wanted to give you guys a quick review of what I'm projecting the offensive line to actually look like in terms of their best fits. That's what I'm going for here. That may change in the coming weeks, but right now, that's where we're at. I'm going to have a great interview with Matt Derrick coming up tomorrow. We're going to get into some of the nitty gritty and some of the more spacious type ideas and get into that. And then we have, of course, a rumors video, because there's still rumors going around about this team. And I know you guys are digging those. And I'm here to tell you what rumors make no sense and are not going to happen. So don't listen to the hype. Watch out for the other channels on this platform as well as on Twitter. You never know what you're going to find. If you're new, make sure you like, sub, and hit that bell right now so you know what's going on. I'll be back with you tomorrow. I appreciate you guys watching this one, and I'll catch you next time.